All right. Asmongold, my full and honest Diablo 4 review. Well, you know,
on
coming
Diablo
from a speed runner of deaths in hardcore mode. Yeah, let's see, dude.
3.
Let's see.
All right, let's start over. My thoughts on Diablo 4. So, let's talk about, obviously, the campaign.
Well, that campaign was pretty nice.
I think the campaign was very good.
Yeah.
I liked the campaign. Campaign was very well put together, and just overall, I liked the cinematics. I think it flowed together very well. Everything was voice acted. There were great little cutscenes. Nothing is bad about the campaign.
Was a little bit off
the campaign
on like
was
the
a universal
epic,
W, and I was very happy about it.
Battle.
I also think that it left off on a position to where it definitely opens up the possibility for expansions, and it's obvious what those expansions are going to be, right? You've got the Mephisto shit. Like, obviously, I mean, how many fucking times have we killed Diablo? Like 15? And he keeps coming back. I'm sure Lilith will be back too. So you've got Diablo.
Fellow Spender Win Gamer. Yeah, see, I should have done this from the start. Necromancer? Whew. Boy, dude, those guides, completely awful. Completely awful, dude. They're all off. Wrong.
Fucking Mephisto, like all that stuff. Yeah. So the first campaign was amazing.
It's looking like a dummy.
The gameplay, this is the best way for me to describe the gameplay for Diablo 4. I think that the levels 1 through 80 in Diablo 4, 1 through 70, maybe a little bit to 1 to 80, depending on your RNG, are better than PoE. And I think 70 to 100 or 80 to 100, depending on RNG and how well you play and stuff like that, that part is better in PoE. Because I feel like Diablo 4, it misses that last fifth of the game. Like 1 to 20 is great, 20 to 40 is great, 40 to 60 is great, 60 to 80 is like mostly great, and then
grindy.
80 to 100 is like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Why am I doing this? I'm farming all of this gear. I'm getting all of these Paragon levels. For what? To kill Uber Lilith and get nothing? Who cares? Right? There's no point to it. I'm not motivated to continue doing it. So, like,
it's kind of what happened to me, dude.
I feel like I just run out of motivation to continue doing this, right? It seems for nothing. Yes, it's just for nothing. Yes, maybe I'll get them out. Maybe I'll kill Uber Lilith at some point, but my motivation for it is very minimal.
Fun up until then, though.
Somebody brings up in chat, race to 100, hardcore, super fun to watch, but seeing all the illegitimate deaths was a letdown. Blizzard is fixing that. You know, everybody said I was wrong with this. Apparently, Blizzard disagrees.
I love getting CC'd to death by ice
Blizzard
minions and dying in hardcore mode.
On top of that, another thing that's happening is
I love
they're adding in like little
inspirational
little bonus things into the game, right? Like the gem tab.
Skill gaps.
I do not understand how adding a gem tab into this game. I don't understand how this takes until season 2. And I really hope that Blizzard realizes that not everybody in the world lives inside of Blizzard time dilation, where like changing the spelling on something takes 10 months. So if the game is bad, people are just going to move away from the game.
Overwatch.
And a lot of times they're not going to come back and play it whenever it's good again. And this is what happened with Shadowlands. Is that Shadowlands was bad for so long because Blizzard refused to listen to what the player base said. And then by the time that it was improved at the end of the game,
but on Overwatch, they don't really listen to us either.
And Diablo 3 was the same thing, yes. So I don't think that Blizzard can rely on people just waiting around for the game to get better. They need to be making these changes proactively, immediately. New World is another great example of this. Immediately. Like, I don't want to wait until Season 7 for the game to be good. This is ridiculous, because by the time Season 7 comes out, people are going to lost interest in the game. I think that's another big issue. A lot of these changes have they've been too slow, basically. So just in general, the cadence of changes has been both very fast and too slow. Some of the things like making adjustments to different abilities, nerfing things. I play a whirlwind barbarian. I'd say like 80% of the nerfs were definitely warranted. Like it just was insane. It's an insane class. So I definitely understand why they nerfed it, but you know, like making the classes playable, I think is another issue. Because whenever I leveled, and this is mainly experience from the beta,
only reason
I
to play
really
necromancers for the minions,
as far as I know,
and all you do is sacrifice them.
Ever since the second beta and the server slam, is that the experience playing the game and the experience leveling 1 to 50 as a barbarian and a druid is decidedly worse than the other classes. And it's worse for no reason. Because inside of all of your skills and your talents and everything like this, there are coefficients that increase these numbers based off of the level that
didn't
you
feel
are,
too crazy either.
and based off of different secondary
also because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
I think Blizzard would be doing themselves a really big favor if they just made barbarians and druids more fun to
level 78.
I think this is like an easy W, and it's just not a fun experience. I think that also this problem is like, it's like multiplied because in Act 1, a lot of the fights in Act 1 are melee unfriendly, right? Where you're fighting like the girl's mom, and there's like the succubus mobs running away from you constantly, and then fucking Chosen of Lilith is standing inside of the poison cloud it dropped, and you just have to attack it. It doesn't feel good to play melee.
Okay, melee probably does seem way worse. At least
play a barbarian and to play a druid in early game, and I don't really see that being a positive. I don't think that it's a good thing that one
until you
class
get like the gear
is just
and then
bad, or it's less fun to play or something like that. I don't see any advantage to that, and I think that it's a universal negative. So they should make those two classes more fun to play at early levels. I think that also like the builder spender meta that like a lot of classes have is kind of boring, and I think that it's like, it doesn't feel good. And I would ask this to anybody in the chat, right? Does it feel good to use your basic abilities? No. So why do they exist? Yeah, it's just stupid. I also think that with barbarians specifically, and this is like more class design type stuff, to slow your game, but they don't, because whenever you're at max endgame, you never use them. Like, I basically never use this ability. Like, I'll use it every once in a while, but for the most part, I'm using Whirlwind. I could take Lunging Strike off my bar.
I mean, at least Lunging Strike lets you like dash.
That much.
The thing about the barbarian, that when you're trying to clear the dungeons fast, when I was doing like the renown thing for all the dungeons, bro, you could literally just like click minions, and it was like bang, 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 bang. Like literally, I was like the Flash, dude. So Lunging Strike was nice in that essence, where you could just like hop and skip to all the minions, but then in like an actual like fight or something, broken teleport, exactly. So that would.
So I think that the basic abilities and the necessity to use a basic ability that feels bad for like the majority of the game is pointless, and it's not fun. I don't see the reason why they can't tone down the cost of abilities earlier on in the game.
But like, okay, but then what would they make for basically, right? It's basic, maybe for a reason, and then you get all the cool ones, you know? So I don't know, like, what you would put to make that better than it already is. At least it has a use, because you can move.
It would make the classes more fun to play. Like, that's really all it comes down to. So imagine waiting until Season 2 to fix a bug. Yeah, and so other things, like Blizzard has been very receptive in a lot of ways. Like, they've been listening to like the gym tab, for example, they're going to be adding, but again, it's going to be taking until season
full of gems
2, which I think
two
is
whole like slots, dude.
Ridiculous. Like, this is outrageous that you can't make this change in the middle of a season. What the fuck are you talking about? This is an always online game. You can force a patch to everybody. What do you mean you can't change the game inside of a season? It's ridiculous. Let's talk about I guess,
I think
like
a lot of companies now, or at least like, you know, Blizzard even with like
just
Overwatch abilities too, they only want to do stuff. It's like, oh, the new season's coming, let's just have this full like list of changes to make the new season look good, instead of just incrementally making the game better for like the user, probably because it like looks better to like post something. I guess that like it's just like a PR move rather than, you know, making it better for like the consumer.
Reset dungeon button back into the game. We had this in the beta,
I don't think it's good either.
And Blizzard decided that it was a bad idea, so they removed it. I think the removal of the dungeon reset button has only made the game worse, and people are still using dungeon resets. They're just doing it in a contrived way.
Yeah.
They're doing a workaround for it. And that workaround hurts solo players, and it hurts people that don't want to try and get into a group just to like metagame out some sort of like restriction that Blizzard decided. Like, I don't want to do that. It's annoying to me. But it is the best way to level, and if you want to level quickly, that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
So Blizzard has taken something that was a quality of life feature and removed it from the game, and then in replacement of that, they've added something that's not fun. So I think it's a really big mistake for them to not have the...
I agree.
What do you call it? The reset instance button. There's no reason for that not to happen. Oh, you can't... Oh, you reset the instance while you're inside of it. That's bad. Well, yeah, I think it is bad, but like, isn't having to sit into a group and then change instance over and over and over inside of a loading screen worse? I think it's way worse. So I don't want to see Blizzard go down the route of making the entire game worse in order to throttle the 0.1% of power gamers. You should let them do what they want to do.
You're not going to be able to throttle
like
the people that want a power level and do all that stuff
without a bunch of unnecessary restrictions to try to stop those people from playing it more efficiently.
No matter what.
Now, obviously, there's going to be exceptions to that, but that's generally the way that I fall off on. And I think that overall, would I be having more fun if the game had a reset dungeon button? The answer to that is a pretty simple fucking yes. How many of you guys join a dungeon in Diablo 4 and you think, oh, great, what stupid bullshit am I going to have to do this time?
Bro,
because that's...
I go in there, slay all enemies? Oh, okay, dude, free the prisoners? Fuck the prisoners, man. Bro, this homie's be dead. A skeleton, I still gotta untie him? Dude, like, leave his ass. Like, oh, okay, sure, man, I'll save the other guys as I'm going. Dude, F that, man.
That's the way I feel. Yeah. Yep. Am I going to have to kill all the mobs and, like... There's one little fucking goblin that's sitting over in the corner, and because it was kind of close, but he's in another room, you have to like run around to get him, and you didn't actually have him get pulled to you at the end. You've got to rescue.
Dude, the other worst one is when you have to like kill like the little like, I don't know, obelisk things, but then of course when you're solo, you're going like one path, so you miss like one that's in the way bottom right, so you make it to where you gotta go, and then you gotta fucking walk all the way back to the start, and it's like, dude, come on, man. Like, I don't know, they should make it like if you make it to a certain spot, it's just one other one like spawns near you or something.
7 villagers, and it's a spider area, so you're getting the little spiders attacking you constantly. It's like they're very annoying. Spiders. And I'd like to have more dungeons that were just focused on killing mobs rather than completing menial tasks over and over and over.
I do like the diversity of the dungeons.
Also hitting dead ends or missing something and then having to run back and get it again.
There's a bunch of like variety
I'm not asking
of like
for
the ones.
just like pure fucking all gas, no brakes, greater rifts. I don't mean that, but like at least make the things that you have to do not as fucking annoying. Also, doing the like these are going to be like little things. Like I don't really have this structured very well in my head, so I'm going to be kind of jumping around a little bit. But like inside of the dungeons, the events inside of the dungeons are fucking garbage. Every single like wave that you do after wave 5 should have more and more elites. Like more and more and more and more until you either die or the timer runs out.
I agree. So yeah,
because that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to do like I'm on wave 9 and
like
3 succubus spawn. One's here, one's here, one's here, and then there's also a fucking demon that spawns over here, and you kill them, and then it's like, okay,
nothing. Yeah.
Now there's 4 succubus.
Oh. Wow. Oh. No way.
Okay. Thank God. So like you need to have a way to complete the activities faster, because having to sit there for an entire minute whenever you're just re-killing non-elites over and over.
I would like an incremental scaling as well.
Because I skip the events every single time.
Yep.
Unless like I'm just really bored or I just like want to do something new. Let's look at some of the affixes. Let's talk about suppressor.
I feel like a lot of these ones are pretty...
Suppressor sucks. Yeah. Why is it that my whirlwind snapshots my location? Like if I go inside of the suppressor, I should not have to recast whirlwind. And if it's teleporting away, like, you know those mobs that the second that you engage them, they immediately teleport away. Yeah. That's insanely fucking annoying whenever the main glyph that everybody uses automatically applies vulnerability as soon as you hit them. The exploit glyph, where the fuck is it? I think it's right here, right?
Bro, exploit glyph never dropped in, man.
Yeah, this one here.
That's literally the last one.
It's designed in a way to be as annoying as possible. Why the fuck would anybody want to do that? And especially if it's one of the vampire guys. Because not only do they turn into a bat and then move away, but they also teleport away with their abilities. So you're dealing with that shit as well. And I also want to emphasize, as I go through all these things in the game, I would recommend buying Diablo 4, and I do think that it's a good game.
I think it
is an extremely solid, good game. But god fucking damn, it could be a lot better. It could be a whole lot better. I mean, the reason why I say that is because I think the level 1 to 70, I mean, I think most people could agree with this, right? Levels
I put a lot of hours, but I also like hardcore grinded it.
Where like you get
it's like now I kind of wish I didn't because I could have like enjoyed the game more.
I think so. At 1 to 50, sure, 1
to
50.
Now I'm like,
and
what do
just
I do?
1 to 50 is a good amount of time playing the game. The problem with the end game in Diablo is very simple. There is nothing for you to achieve past level 80 except for more Paragon levels and maybe getting the exact same piece of gear that you already have, where it says better. A 13 instead of a 12. Is this really a good time? Is this really fun?
Get
I don't
that,
think
Harley
so.
Quinn crest,
so
man.
What they need to do is they need to add a tier 5. They need to add a world tier 5 and then have different items drop there that have more than 4.
But then 4 affixes. The thing is, like, if they add world tier 5, then once everybody that rushes world tier 5, then it's going to be like, okay, then what do you do at world tier 5? You know, and then it's going to be like, okay, add world tier 6. Wouldn't it just like keep scaling though? Or they would have to like change everything around to like, because once those people in world tier 5 like get everything, it's like, what are they going to do then, right? It's going to have the same exact problem.
Because I think that only 4 affixes on gear is kind of boring. I think gear in general is kind of boring. I think
unless
the
it's like
best
once you're in the world tier, it's like always going to be like the best gear
weapon
drops.
Ability pool.
It's just like
so
super
like
hard, like instant. I'd be okay with that.
Damage over time, damage to injured enemies, damage to healthy enemies,
like a better chance
damage
of
to
like
bleeding enemies,
max
damage to basic skills,
ones.
damage over time. Like all of these things are just different percentages that don't fucking matter, that don't change your gameplay in any sort of a meaningful way. It's just percentages that make the number go up. They don't feel better. Like, for example, if you compare it to, like, patch 5.4 in Mists of Pandaria, your character plays massively fucking different because you have more haste, more crit chance, and more crit damage. And more mastery, so you can proc more things. So, I don't really feel like my character is becoming... Like, it's not really coming online, and I'm not getting these cool abilities whenever I'm leveling up. I'm just getting more percentages. And if you compare this to Diablo 3, at the beginning of the game,
I agree with that.
Because
in the beginning, you got like,
and your crit damage scaled.
You're just trying to farm for like, oh, I need to get my little shout ring or something, and then once you get it, it's like, okay, goes from generate 1 to like 2 or 3, and then it's kind of just like you don't really notice it. It's not like, I don't know, it's not flashy.
With your main stat. The game felt a lot more complete in that way, and you could actually feel your character getting stronger, and the way your character played was better. So that's one big factor. I think that it just doesn't really feel any different.
Yeah.
The mount system. So let's talk about the mount system. We're going to go outside. We're going to look at it. Let's say I want to go over here.
Oh.
It works, right? Sometimes it works.
Dude, trying to jump across the bridges, like, dude, that should either sometimes worked or it didn't. And then it's like so annoying, yeah.
Why not?
Oh, add a jump, yeah. Yeah, why can't we jump?
Is this a joke? Are you fucking kidding me?
Jump, horse, and jump.
Look at the pathing.
Yeah, dude. Okay,
this is horrible.
The pathing is definitely bad in this game. Or when you place a
why
marker,
is the pathing
bro,
so...
you literally put a marker like, hey, can I just go like 10 feet? And it's like, hey, bro, rerouting using actual like Apple Maps or some shit, dude. Going like off in like Narnia, telling you to turn left off a bridge, and then it's just like, oh, Dude, you telling me like this is where I could have went, man?
So like, bad on the mount,
dude.
It doesn't go around.
You would think that it would be a lot better.
What the fuck is this? Lost Ark does it better.
800 turns could have just went in a straight line.
Korean pay-to-win game does this better. And by the way, it does it a lot better. It's not even remotely close. Also, why is the mount on cooldown? Like if I get off the mount,
that's also added on.
I want to click on something. Why is it a 6-second cooldown?
Yeah.
Why is it not like a 2 or 3 second cooldown? Yeah. I think that being able to make your mount run faster.
When your mount dies, I think that's fair for it to be on like, what is it, like a 25-second cooldown or something? It's still kind of a long time, but you know, hey, you got fucked because you let your fucking homie die, so that's kind of on you. But yeah, when you have to like get off to like climb a little ledge and then you have to wait like however long, yeah, it's just let me go instantly.
It's really cool. I like that. I think that's a really cool thing in the game. I'm a very big advocate of that. I think it's really cool that they added that. And like the open world events like this, I think are fucking amazing too. I really, really like them.
Yeah.
Where you can see people out in the world doing stuff, fighting other mobs. I think that is so cool. And I also think that the mount customization is pretty cool too.
I think the world bosses need to be way harder, dude. F the casuals.
But for the most part,
you can just no brain sit there and tank a world boss, like, dude. I don't know. Make it have.
In terms of like the open world and the graphics of the game, I think that they're all really, really nice. And I think that again, the real problems in this game, they manifest themselves towards the very end of the game. Like at the beginning of the game, most of these problems you don't have to deal with. Like they're not really a big issue or anything like that. Also, sellers, it would be nice if sellers were a little bit more worthwhile. Personally, I don't think that there's ever a reason to go and do a seller.
Yeah.
Like people say that you can get a bunch of treasure goblins or something.
I've never seen the treasure goblins.
Maybe you can, but overall it doesn't really make that much sense.
Maybe anyway, the treasure sellers where you find the secret cow level, dude. It's just a 0.00001% chance with that Harlequin crest, dude, just sitting there in the middle, man. But yeah, the sellers are pretty pointless. I guess you can talk about, like, I think a lot of people that have played the game know what I'm talking about. Could have been way better. Like the different barricades that the game puts up. There is never a time that you want to get off your mount whenever you're riding to a dungeon to destroy a barricade to kill 2 skeleton archers that are standing behind the barricade. This is so annoying.
1/100th of your health every 5 seconds.
Dude, it's so annoying. You're just running and then...
It's fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think that they should remove the barricades. I actually don't think so. But I think that whenever your horse is in the gallop motion like this,
hop it,
the horse should be able to break through the barricades.
Okay.
That way you create the world of, like, you know, you can see different things happening in the world, and, you know, like your character has an impact of what's happening, or spacebar to pass it. Well, spacebar does that, right?
Yeah, spacebar is to zoom.
And so you can push through it and break down the barricades if your horse is in gallop mode.
I think that's a fair change. Yeah,
that's very cool. But yeah, that's kind of my feedback on mounts. Overall, I think that mounts are probably added into the game primarily to give players something else to spend money on. And that's it. Oh, and then I got knocked off my mount there due to this thing, and now I can't get back on the mount for 15 more seconds. Very, very cool. And so I just have to walk
smile
now.
Emoji. Yeah.
Overall, I think that Diablo 4
still waiting to get on his mount. Yeah.
I think it's a very good game, but I think also if you play it enough, you will learn to dislike it. And I think that it doesn't really reward players that play it a lot. Like, for example, if you play the game, you know, like 50 hours, I think that you're going to probably have a really good experience playing the game. But if you... Yeah. Oh, here, like this. Okay, this... Actually, to be fair, that one was pretty good.
Yeah, that one lets you go through.
But many of them are not. If you played the game, you'd know that. 15 hours. Yeah, we're in Season 0. Well, that's why I'm giving feedback now. I'm talking about the game now in Season 0, so they can't So then they can't be like, oh, well, we didn't know. Nah,
exactly.
People are talking about it even now. Because Diablo is...
tell them.
Diablo's a very popular game, right? I mean, this game is the fastest selling PC game in history.
And they did so many like sponsorships for like, bro, First We Feast. Like they did that like that for like 3 episodes. They had it on the fucking KFC. Freaking Megan Fox doing the freaking things. Like, dude, they promoted it really well. So definitely that was a good on them there. So I could see it being
a lot of people want this game to be good.
And Megan Fox. Oh,
I think that Blizzard owes it to its community to listen to the feedback from players, listen to what people have to say, and improve the game.
Yeah.
Like this thing where like your cursor, if your cursor is closer to the horse, it doesn't move, like just stupid shit like this.
Oh, I didn't even notice that was a thing.
Why?
Yeah.
Why is it like this? What's the point of it? Overall, I think that just stop.
Yeah, see, my horse just stops and stares at that, looking like I'm a dummy, dude. Doesn't want to leap. Every time I try to get my horse to jump across those bridges.
Is that there are certain things in the game that add challenge, but they do it in a way that's not fun. So like while like yes, technically this does make the game harder, it makes the game harder in a way that's not enjoyable to overcome.
Yeah.
And to an extent, this is going to be a personal opinion. So like some people might not view it this way, but I do.
I must wait.
I think it's annoying. True that post 80 addicts pay the most, when it come close to 1%. I pay 90% of players. Microsoft are professional people calculating these possibilities. Well, I'm not sure. Overall, I just want to see, like, this is what I want to see happen. I want to see them add a tier 5 for level 80 plus players that has like new uniques, higher drop chances for the rare
level
uniques
locking
like
it?
Shako and Grandfather and
I see. I like that.
I'd like to see that happen.
I didn't hear him say the level.
I don't think that it is great game design. Yeah, like this.
Yeah.
It's just fucking annoying.
Usually doesn't even let you around the sides either.
It's just fucking annoying. Like, and that's it. But I think that the outdoor content like this is actually great. I like it. I want to see them add more stuff like this.
Starting point for the game's launch has a ton of potential. Yeah, but okay.
Yeah, this kind
you
of
have to think about
really...
it's always a ton of potential, right? Overwatch, prime example, ton of potential, but it's like, are they gonna listen? Are they gonna implement these changes? It's like, the Blizzard has a good track. Do they have a good track record of this? I don't know, man. I don't know if they got a good track record of actually implementing stuff that people want.
Good. And just giving people a reason to go out into the world is a major positive and like a huge W in my opinion. Yeah, I made like a list. I don't know if I can find the list right now of like all the things that I'd like to see happen with Diablo 4. But overall, I think that Blizzard has a great foundation for this game. But in order for the game to like really be good and get people to continue coming back for season after season, I think they really have to look at some of the fundamental mechanics and rethink the way they work. Like just affixes that are fucking annoying. Like the ones that you have to like run and stand underneath the like electricity thing or it one-shots you. You've got 15 other fucking sound effects playing. Do you want to be staring at your mini-map to see if you can find this little thing? It's just fucking annoying. And it's not like it's hard.
I mean, I think that one's pretty funny.
I think that whenever the challenge to something is just
it
that
definitely
it's
is
a roadblock,
stupid, but I think that one is actually pretty funny.
And it's not like there's any sort of like real gameplay to it other than overcoming the roadblock.
So you're just playing with your friends or off in like the corners. You're like, really dude, who's dying?
Way too much backtracking in dungeons. Yeah, nobody.
But there's also counterplay because you can use the one thing that Necromancer was good for. I don't know about the other classes because he has that little like the little mist form. Other than that, dude, you're left in the back as a Necromancer. Let's be real, dude. Everybody else is far forward having fun. You're just trying to crawl your way, like you're literally dead, just last dying breath trying to catch up. But that misty step or like whatever, the blood mist thing, if you time it right, you don't die to the bubble. So yeah, Snail Mancer. So I mean, you don't really make it fast, but yeah, everyone else getting one shot is
wants to go back and
funny,
do a
but
dungeon that they've already like cleared and run all the way through it again.
They need to make Necromancer faster. Or
and so you add, so like basically you add friction for looking through your map because you don't have a mini map. And besides adding friction for looking through the map, you also punish people for not looking at the map. Are there any affixes you enjoy? I think the fiery affix is fine. Like the on-depth mechanics are kind of annoying, but overall I think the fire affix is fine. Let's see. The meteors are fine. I think those are okay. I don't know. I'd have to think about the other ones, but that's really what comes to my mind. The volcano one is fine. I think a lot of them are okay. Also, poison. Anytime I do blind burrows, I'm just constantly poisoned for my entire health bar, spamming potions.
Yep.
Like maybe this is something that's going to get fixed with them rebalancing resistances.
Yeah,
but for now, it's just obnoxious. Like I never want to do that dungeon because of that. Yep. World bosses, I think, are good. I don't mind world bosses.
Maybe a little bit harder.
I think it's a cool way for you to show off your gear if you've got really good gear, and also it's just an easy way for you to get gear as well yourself. Like that's this kind of stuff is like really. Like the fact that your mount runs at the speed that your mouse is farther away from the cursor or the middle of the screen. Okay, I think is silly too.
Okay, so that's why sometimes my horse, because like I would always like be playing, and sometimes my horse is in like fucking Speedy Gonzalez mode, and I'm like, hell yeah, dude, I'm doing good. And then other times it's going slow as shit, and I had no idea why. So this makes sense. You just gotta put your cursor like in carrot and a stick, man. All right, well, nice. I had no idea.
I think they need to change that.
Yeah, definitely change that shit.
They need to hit harder?
No, they don't.
It's a world boss. It's a loot pinata. World bosses are loot pinatas in every single game. There's no glory to it. It's just a target dummy that people get to go and hit. I think annoying things are fundamentally good in games as they create stress and concentration and eventually relief when bypassed.
There's a difference.
In reality, dopamine, which increases addiction.
Between just annoying things and
so you think people get it? So you think the more annoying a game is, the more addicting it is? I don't think that makes any sense. I think that if you apply that logic in a large scale, then it would just be better to make a game more and more annoying, right? Because it would just make people more addicted.
Yeah.
I think that there is a big difference between something
average
being
Twitch chat, dude,
and something being challenging. Like for example, there are a lot of games that aren't annoying, and they're just challenging or hard. A lot of things in PoE are not really annoying; they're just really hard or hard to see, which you could say is annoying. But overall, I don't really think they're that hard. It's a weird way to look at things that annoying gameplay is actually a good thing because it gets people to overcome it, and overcoming annoying gameplay releases dopamine. So like if that's the logic and the goal is to release dopamine, is the only way to release dopamine by making annoying content, or are there other ways to do it, like making challenging content that you feel good after you beat it? So you have some of these like outdoor world events,
challenging thing, higher chance to drop the good loot.
I personally find them pretty boring. How many of you guys go out and do these outdoor world events?
I didn't starting out.
I only do them whenever Helltide is up. But yeah, I mean the open world, as you can see, once you have really good
when I first
gear,
started, I did all the events,
and like my gear isn't even like fully optimized. Like there's people that do way more damage than I do, and like nothing is really a challenge. You just go by and you just roll shit down, roll shit over, and it's super easy. Stuff like this, like by the way, is like really cool. I like stuff like this where you can get like trapped and there's like skeletons that come in and attack you. Like that's actually kind of a cool, it's a cool type of annoyance because it's actually like
you're scared of dying.
You get to fucking blow up a bunch of mobs. Like that's why, because it's cool. I completed all my renown.
Yeah, the barricades, fuck that shit.
Yeah, I mean overall, like again,
that other one still
I'm very
annoying,
positive about this game.
Yeah,
but I think that there's no point to play it after level 80. Like I'm effectively just wasting my time right now. I go in, I do a dungeon, I know, like, I'm not even looking at the loot. Nothing that they drop is going to be good.
Yeah. I agree with that statement.
Like, I could loot it just for gold, maybe, so I could re-roll an item that I already had. But, like, do I really feel like doing that? Probably not. There's good uniques from 85 plus. Yeah, but like how many of those uniques has Rob gotten, for example? And he's been level 100 for like every single day ever since like the second day. He plays the game 24 hours a day. So like if he hasn't gotten these uniques, you're probably not going to get them either. So like just think about it from there.
Nah, bro, dude, we got the luck, okay?
I'm surprised so many people get hoodwinked
fucking
by
the
that.
coke, dude. I will be the lucky one.
It's like as soon as you think about it, you realize like how rare that really is. The fact that Rob hasn't gotten us is crazy. That's because the drop rates are garbage. And the reason why the drop rates being garbage is bad is because the drop rates in the game are like in PoE it's okay for something like a mirror to exist because you can buy a mirror. The reason why it's not fun for things like that to exist in this game is because you can't buy them. You just have to, like, randomly roll the dice over and over and over until maybe you get lucky. And I find that to be, like, infinitely less fun than going and actually working towards something over time. It's actually one of the reasons why I quit playing Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls, is that I lost my ability to work towards
you can put like a lesser version of it that you could buy
because I couldn't trade items.
You're still working towards
I couldn't do anything. So I just had to sit there and just constantly run rifts it's still over like and over and over.
The dropped version is better, but at least you can still buy
something good.
The other stuff.
Just wants easy mode to while streaming? Well, if you listen to what I was saying, you'd know that I'm actually asking for a hard mode. I literally want a hard mode. I want a hard mode that drops better gear with more interesting affixes, and it does it more often. That's for endgame players. So yeah, I'm actually asking for the opposite. Now I understand like Diablo is a game that's catered primarily towards casual players. But I don't think that catering primarily towards casual players means that you can't make content for hardcore players.
Yeah.
I think there's also like there's this myth of there being like a dichotomy between there's only the people that play, you're either level 41 or you're level 100. There are a lot of people out there who play the game every day, but they only play for like an hour and they will hit level 83 or they'll hit like level 90. And they're like the semi-hardcore player base. Like this is what I'm talking about, by the way. Like literally exactly what I was talking about.
It's so pointless.
2 oppressors and then a succubus. And I'm just stuck here, re-killing these same normal mode mobs. Over and over and over. I've cleared 9 waves and now nothing's spawning anymore.
Oh. Always spawn
and now the elites spawn.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I would like to see the elites after you kill like a certain wave. It's like elites, more elites, more elites. So like it promotes you trying to kill fast and having like the better gear. Actually,
yeah, I think this game has a great foundation to continue growing and improving. I think that Blizzard has shown that they are willing to listen to the player base. And I think the development team for Diablo has done a very good job in doing that. So I have like a lot of faith in the game to improve and to get better. I think that the core gameplay of Diablo 4 is really, really good. And I think that it's more responsive and fluid than PoE in terms of like how it feels to kill monsters and stuff like that. And this comes as somebody who's like a major PoE fan. I basically quit Diablo 3 in order to play PoE. So like that's kind of a big deal for me, like personally, to think that. So I just like to see them continue improving the game. And as I said before, I am very excited to see where this game goes. I think that the game will continue to improve and get better. And this is one thing that I would say to anybody who is
just hope they do it fast.
Like basically defending some of these bad decisions that Blizzard has decided to make, is that if you make excuses for a bad game, you get a bad game. I don't think players should make any excuses or be okay with any of the things that are wrong with the game. Whether it's the stash tabs being fucking garbage, whether it's having to redo
give me some more stash
for
tabs,
seasons, whether it's having to, having these sorting things that are awful, and having no stash tabs at all, like 4 stash tabs, that's it. Like anybody that plays ARPGs knows you need more than that.
You have 2 characters, and then you're already like trying to have already have 0 space. So it's like, if you want to try and play more, then you're just getting shafted for playing the game more when you play different characters, because there's no way you have enough tabs for 4 characters, 5 characters, there's no way you have enough for all of that. It's so bad.
What if they don't think it's bad?
Don't even get started on the different respecs. So it's like, you want to have your class, and it's like, okay, maybe the minion necromancer build gets buffed. Okay, cool. I'm saving a bunch of the minion stuff while I'm using the bone spear one. It's like you do that for 2 classes, and all the freaking tabs are filled.
Well, if they don't think it's, I think that there's a big difference, right? I acknowledge that other people don't have the same complaints that I have with the game, but I don't think that them not having the problem
after you finished
means
it, I think that's good.
My problem is invalid. And if fixing my problem, if they don't care about the issue to begin with, why is it not a good thing that they fix a problem that some players have with the game? Does that make sense? So why is it good that Blizzard holds on and they try to adhere to some mechanic? Oh, I don't care about this mechanic, it's not a big deal. Well, okay, that's fine. So then if you don't care about it, it wouldn't be a big deal if it got changed. I just hope that Blizzard's able to listen to players. I also think we should be able to zoom in more on our character. In Lost Ark, you have the overhead view, you have the close-up view like this, and then you have one more view that's right up close.
Yes.
I don't know why Blizzard doesn't do that, because it would give people another reason to look at their character, which would probably cause them
increase
to spend more
sales,
money in the game, because they can see the armor that they buy more. So I don't know why you can't do that. I think that Season 1 definitely needs a Tier 5 that gives hardcore players something more to do. And I would also like to see some of the early levels be a little bit less painful for druids and barbarians. And I'd also like to see more interesting items and stats. I think those are the main things that Diablo 4 needs the most right now. I would recommend the game. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think the game's phenomenal.
I think that if you play it past level 70 to level 80, depending on what your RNG is, you are going to be effectively just repeating the exact same thing over and over, and you will get bored.
Oh,
and that's what
the
they
PvP,
really need to
dude.
fix.
Yeah, that's what we need. Give me the PvP arenas, because even if they have the grinding the dungeons, once you're gonna get all the gear anyways. So adding some arenas in, just give us one more thing to do. You can either do it 1v1, you can do it with the squad, just have some sort of leaderboard, have it either balanced, non-balanced. I mean, I'd probably say it'd probably be better, since I think the devs on Diablo said it's they want the PvP not to be fair. So yeah, whatever the best stats that you have, you go in with that. You play against other people. Leveling should definitely be the same level they're matching you up against, but at least try to. But yeah, gear wise, just you go in with what you have, they go in with what they have, and then it's just fun. Gives you an extra little spicy thing to do when you're bored of doing the same dungeon over and over again. Yeah, some PvP cosmetic sets. I think that'd also be pretty nice. Yeah, because they have, I think just doing a little bit more of the people, because okay, there's always going to be the PvE grinders, and they're always going to have certain stuff, and then if you have a PvP set, then everyone can do both things. If they just want to do one single thing, at least they're still having fun doing what they want. And yeah, I think at least adding some sort of PvP, because dude, the open world PvP app, it's pretty pointless, dude. You get in one instance, there's absolutely nobody there. I don't think anybody ever is grinding in the PvP zone. So, and that's just kind of, I don't know. Yeah, I remember the one dude that when you had to go into the stash to get those seeds or whatever, and you have to teleport into the place that is when you're going away with it, and literally just teleport it in. But of course we were all just ready there to gank him, so we can't even see what he's going into. And yeah, that was Yeah, I don't know. I think if they have like an actual PvP arena, that's just way better. You know, they still keep the PvP zone, but at that.
They need to fix that last fifth of the game. And if they do that, we're going to have a really, really solid game. Too soon for Tier 5 in Season 1. It would be great, but I think they said the patch for Season 1 is already in testing.
I mean, just add more things to it. Why can't they just add the small things? Even if it's in testing, like you have to do.
Am I the only person who doesn't care about what Blizzard's internal rules are for developing content at a certain rate of time? I don't care if it's in the testing phase or not. It's not my job to care about their fucking process. Yeah. Every day that the game is bad, because they might have some complete bad takes. I'm not saying it needs to be fixed instantaneously. Of course, I'm going to be reasonable about it, but don't create your own red tape based off of your corporate structure and then say that it's impossible when you're sending out hot fixes every fucking day to stop buffs or to stop class exploits.
Yeah, I think they care more about us like farming the dungeons or whatever, which they they added in. It's like, okay, oh dude, there goes this nice EXP farm. Okay, let's just take it away. Okay, the next one. Okay, let's just take it away. Let's not add party dungeons, nightmare stuff like harder, which give better loot at the same EXP rate. So we'll be doing more fun content with a group or something. That the nightmare dungeons are like meant to be the way to get EXP and loot, but yet you're just not doing that, so not as good. So I don't know. Then you start like buffing the other stuff instead of just taking away the other stuff.
Not the case. I don't care if oh wow, we have to get this approved by Xbox again. Okay, well you better start.
Yeah, you better start, man.
The truth.
You freaking better start. Yeah. But yeah, I agree with a lot of what Asmongold said for sure. Come on, Blizzard. Get to it. Chop, chop. Let's freaking make the game good.